What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? This is Matty Tomato right here. Thanks ever so much for tuning in, and welcome to some more Transport Fever. We haven't played Transport Fever in a long, long time. It's been ages. In fact, I haven't really played much on my channel lately. The last time I played anything was Tropico 4 at Christmas, so I haven't actually played anything in 2024, technically. But I'm away from home for work, and I've actually got a few nights away from home for work in the next couple of weeks, which is a bit sad for me because I like being at home, in particular because I'm a dad now, which is amazing, and of course I'd rather be there, but needs must, I'm afraid. New job, so have to sort of, take it on the chin, sort of settle in at my place of work. But otherwise, yes, I'm a dad now. We're moving home as well, which is kind of nice, mostly because of the job. But everything's good and dandy. Anyway, Transport Fever. So we're going to do an achievement run today. We're going to go for Metropolis, which is to get a town, well, more like a city really, up to the population of 1,500 inhabitants. Now, in order to do that, you really need to be servicing a city with passengers. Freight has a minimal impact on passengers, on city growth, sorry, in terms of residences and things like that. It can. So if you service the commercial areas, then you can tend to get more growth in the commercial areas, and then people are more likely to stay in that city. So that's entirely possible. But of course, it depends on the map that we get. So we're just going to go for a free game here. I think we're going to go with a small map. I mean, we could go medium just to give ourselves a bit more of a chance, but actually I'm just going to go with a small map. Terrain type flat, that's fine. Let's go for 1 to 1.1. Fair enough. We'll randomize to that one. I don't really care. So I just need to make sure that there are no mods active here. So actually I'm just going to disable all just to make sure there's no mods, because we actually want to enable achievements in this one. Loading order, 0 mods enabled, excellent. Vehicles, European, terrain, European. We'll just go with English towns. That's kind of okay. Europe, European, European, yes. We might as well just stick with that. Fantastic. We'll start on the year 2000. Actually, let's start a little bit earlier. Let's start 1990. Okay, let's go with that. That'll do. Another randomized set, that's fine, and start. Okay, so yeah, Metropolis is the achievement we're going for today. If we happen to pick up any other achievements along the way, then of course that would be great. In general, though, Metropolis is what we're going for. Just fancy doing an achievement run, because I was interested in perhaps doing some achievement runs in Europa Universalis, EU4. But in all honesty, at the moment the job is great. I like my job, but it's quite challenging. So I kind of wanted to go for an achievement that's a little bit more relaxing. And EU4 is not exactly relaxing, really. I don't find it relaxing because I find it very challenging. And as a result, your brain gets a little bit mashed, and it can be, tactical. And I love the game, don't get me wrong, but not when I'm a bit knackered. I also have a beer today. I've got the Feelin' Foul from the Feelin' Foul Brewery, Feelin' Foil, I think it's called. It's the Double Dragon. It's the national ale of Wales. It's actually quite nice. And a cheers. Nice and relaxed. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's quite hoppy, which I kind of like in an ale, to be honest, but yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so what do we have? Holy God. There's not a lot to play with here, Hi, caramba. I'm tempted to restart. What is the, usually you get, a place that's got, 300 to 400 inhabitants to start with. I'm just going to restart. No. That's awful. On every level, that is awful. The map is fine, though. Let's just re-randomize. Make sure we disable... Or usually get somewhere that at least has, a minimum of 300 people to start off with. I mean, my God. That was quite bad. Also, the map was not brilliant. Didn't really like it. Didn't get the feels. When you just look at a map sometimes... like a game like SimCity 3000, for example, you used to just look at a map, you did a randomly generated map, and then you just looked at it, and you went, you know what, this is cool. This is already significantly better. The fact there's 2 farms right close together, and then there's actually some, there's a food processor over there, which is kind of interesting. So in terms of industry, that would be easy because we could haul stuff from these two farms over to this processor and then back to Tadcaster. So that's looking good. More interestingly though, yeah, that's a bit better. Look, here we go. We've actually got some bigger towns here. So Gainsborough, which is down here on the eastern side, is the biggest at the start, and is therefore the most likely place to be able to get to be big. And interestingly, Tadcaster, which is the one we identified immediately at the start, is actually the second smallest. Manningtree is the next biggest, which is up here. Okay, so what I'm actually tempted to do is maybe do Gainsborough as like a hub-ish, and then sort of run trains between there and then the rest of the places, and use Gainsborough as a hub. So like a track up to Bawtry and Manningtree up there, a track to Tadcaster and Kirkby over that way, and then a track down here to Streatham. And I think actually like a fourth track that comes across here to Carterton. So I think that is what I kind of want to do. Which then, so we're going for Gainsborough as the place that we'd like to develop up. Now, the downside is by doing that, there's not actually a lot of industry that we could potentially use here. The only possibility would be perhaps this oil. We might be able to send the oil down here to this fuel station and bring it in, but that's cutting right across the front where all the passengers go, and building overpasses is incredibly difficult in vanilla. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that. I really would like to do this, though. Like, that is screaming. We wouldn't make a lot of money off of it initially, though. That's the thing. Like, running freight early on and relying on freight as your source of income early on is actually really bad, because it doesn't make that much money. So I think I'm going to go with the Gainsborough route here. And wait, I was thinking about maybe going down there first, because that's a fairly simple route, I think. Yeah, that's a bit flat. I quite like that. Although if we did Gainsborough to Tadcaster first, then we could set up the freight stuff afterwards. That might be better. So invest in a single passenger line to start with, just to get some money going, and then subsequently invest in the freight afterwards. Now, there is a food processor here as well, so we could potentially do this one to there, and then this one on the other side of the river to there. But what I'm actually tempted to do, now I don't know if it's going to be possible, is do trains on this side here, running with this food processor, Tadcaster, up to here, and this farm. And then over here, with this one, because it's on the other side of the river, we could potentially do boats. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. If not, what the alternative could be is we could maybe draw a road over here and sort of bridge it across here, and then do trucks. So I think we'll think about that. The only thing is, now the biggest thing there is I like this, but it's completely away from the achievement. So in a normal game, I would 100% focus on doing that. But right now, I think because we're focusing on the achievement, I think we want to go and we want to start at Gainsborough and we want to get some passenger traffic going here. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe up to Kirkby afterwards from Tadcaster. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in total coming out of Gainsborough. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to actually specifically focus on Gainsborough and take a look at the passengers. So, like, where are the residences? Now, that is the biggest pain in the ass ever normally, except what we can do is, because all the residences are mostly at the back here, we can build the station at the top and we can run buses, which would actually make us more money. So if we built all out here, maybe, we could even do the train station out here. In fact, we could do it right there where that road has just built itself. That could be a good idea. Join that up and then run this as a loop with some buses. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Providing this is flat, of course, which it sort of is, but not necessarily. Okay, right. Okay, so let's get our trains on the go here. We're going to go with high-speed tracks. Why am I doing this? We actually want train station. Okay, terminal station. We'll go 240 meters, and I want 4 platforms, because this is going to be the hub. Now, if I remember how to rotate... How do you rotate? Oh my god, how do you rotate? I've actually forgotten. I've genuinely forgotten. Oh yes, here we go. That's better. actually forgot how to rotate. Right, so let's do... See, the downside of doing that is we will actually... that's a bit annoying. Not gonna lie, that's annoying. But let's just do this. And let's plonk that in there like that. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is before the city has a chance to actually develop, or it's currently a town, but before they have a chance to develop anything significant, I think I'm just going to go and do... That ultimately ended up more expensive than the original. I'm just going to join that up. And then we're going to come around here with the bus. It's going to go this way. And I'm also just going to then join this up as well. Because I think that's where the bus is going to run. In and around there. Now, this is mostly industry and commercial, so it's not the end of the world if we don't service that. But if it grows a bit bigger, we might end up coming out this way. I mean, we can reroute the bus. Of course, we can reroute the bus. And we will do, because we want it to grow bigger. So, I think I'm just going to start by running up to Tadcaster here. Now, in order to get this right, this is going to be incredibly infuriating, I think. Because Tadcaster's right on the edge here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bulldoze this. I'm going to hit the pause button before anything else goes wrong. Now, we don't need that many. Now, could I get away with 2? In fact, I don't really need 2. But I'm going to go with 2. Just in case we end up running more trains on this route. So, we could do this. But what I'm actually going to do... that needs to be high speed. Right. It's quite a way out, but again, this promotes the use of buses, which I'm not actually all that bothered about. Because ultimately, if we want to run buses, then... Oh, I forgot you have to click and drag in this game. Use the city skylines. Right. Okay, excellent. And then we want to grab the road. And I just want to do... Now, here's the kicker. Maybe a bit less chaotic than that. There we go. Okay, so let's bridge there. Okay, now we want to run... Ooh, now we would like this to be a fairly fast train. So one is going up there, so it's the second one out. So it is actually... Oh. High speed. Got to build the high-speed tracks. I thought that was a little bit odd. Right, so this one in here. There we go. Now, how straight? Because I'd like to run this across here. Yeah. So let's do something a little bit like this. Now, this is actually quite pricey because of the terrain here, because we're having to elevate quite significantly. But the flip side is it is actually very, very straight, and that's what we want. So, cutting in here like this, need to curve a little bit around because we want to do something a bit like that. We'll go with the full fast bridge, and then we'll do something like that. Excellent. Okay, so eventually what I want to do is I want to double that up because there's a high likelihood that we might end up running a couple of trains along there. So I do want to double that up eventually. This track is going to come over here, so it might actually be better to follow this for a while and then cut up there and do that, because that's quite a big hill in the middle. So we want to probably go up this way and then cut across there. So this other platform here, I think is going to follow that for a while. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And if we draw this across here like that, because what I'm hoping to do is subsequently run this across here, and they're going to build a train shed in the middle. Now we want to naturally make that as fast as possible when it comes to the curve that goes all the way around there. So, we want to build a train shed somewhere in here. See, the only problem is that's right down the... That's a long way to go single track as well. So, Yeah, see, we can do this. But that's not actually what I want to do. So we double up here. Like that. Okay. Stretch that one out. That's what she said. Right. And then we build a train depot. But I like calling it a depot. Let's make sure it's a little bit sort of, even. That basically does that. Now, because that joins in with this bottom one, what we can then do, not there, is then run a signal like that across there, or run a track across there. So we can then put in some signals. So we can signal this to there, so a train can then stop there. That's absolutely fine. We'll also do... Oops. Done goofed there. That's the wrong way. Trains only obey signals on the right-hand side. So if they're travelling in a particular direction, then they'll only obey a signal that is positioned to the right. Like that. That's better. Fantastic. Okay. So then that'll follow in down there. That's absolutely perfect. Right. So that is now set up. So we can actually set up, because we could just extend the route eventually. So what we'll do is we'll buy a train here. Of course, we need to set up the route first, don't we? Yellow, sure. So we'll do Gainsborough to Tadcaster for now. We'll do. We'll call it the gain Tad line. But it's going to change, of course, because it's going to gain Tad line. Excellent. It's going to change names when we actually sort out the connection to Kirkby. Right. Oh boy. Now, from what I remember, there's actually some half decent trains in here. Yeah. Oh yes, because we're only in 1990, aren't we? Of course. Now we could go with this beast here, which does take a lot of passengers, but in all honesty, it's going to lose us quite a lot of money early on. Because that alone costs 2 million a year. This only costs 1 million. The power is better as well, because I've tended in the past when I played Transport Fever to go with this one because it's cheap. It's fairly easy going, but to be honest, it quickly becomes redundant. Oh, my mouse is playing up. Quickly becomes redundant. That one's not bad, but it's quite expensive. Yeah, this one's cheaper. Now, it is diesel hydraulic, which is slightly annoying, but in all honesty, it's only another 400k a year. It's double the price up front, almost, but it's double the power. That's the thing. Better top speed as well. So let's go with this one. So I'm going to purchase that. Now, it doesn't make sense going for this one, to be honest, because it only goes up to 87 mile an hour anyway. The locomotive only got to 87. So let's go with 1, 2... Could just go 2. Do I make the investment up front and go 3? No, I'm only going to go 2. We'll start with 2. Okay, let's get that going. Good, right. So that's actually on the go now, which is good. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to instigate some buses. So, we need a road depot. Ultimately, we're probably going to want a tram here, or something like that, because they're just better. Like they haul more people around. Once it gets a bit bigger, maybe we'll instigate some tram lines or something like that. For now, though, we will simply... now how do we want to do this? So what I'm thinking... Oh, it's the other side of the road. Of course. So let's do that. Oh, yeah, I forgot it's the other side of the road, isn't it? one there. 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 So only a few stops. Doesn't have to be many. Yes, right. Okay. So let's grab the new line. Green it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth have I done that? Well, firstly, I can't... No, let's do light blue because I can't see the lines. So this last stop here at Queensway is going to be unload only. So basically, the bus will stop there, and anyone that's on it will then kick people off, and then it will move to the next one to pick people up who are coming in. It segregates the people who are going on to the station versus the people who are coming out. So let's do that. This is the Gainsborough. I hope I've spelled that correctly. There's the Gainsborough, and for now, we'll just buy a road vehicle. Are we anticipating that many people? I don't know. Let's just preemptively buy this one. Can take more people. So let's just go with this one, and let's just start running that around Gainsborough. Okay. So the train is up and running. Obviously, initially, we're not going to do well in the way of passengers. But the other thing, of course, is I haven't actually connected this up yet. So, right. So now that that's connected up, we can actually run the road to there. See, initially, I kind of just want to do a loop. Sort of here. Oh, no, hang on. I don't need to do that, do I? What am I doing? There's a bus station. You could just build a bus station. So could I build this in here somewhere? Like, I'd like to build it as close to the train station as possible, really. I mean, in an ideal world, I would have probably put it there. Or even actually there. But then that would prevent us from going out this way. But I think it's worthwhile. So let's build this right here. Yeah, and then we can run... Ooh. Something like that, basically, so we can encourage growth up that way. I need to do this properly. Like that. There. Pretty much. So it just encourages a bit of growth to go up that way. Cool. And for now, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a road depot up over here as well. Now again, I could put it right next to the train station, but is that worth doing? I think it is. It's a little bit chaotic, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Tadcaster's not that big anyway. So, coming in here like this, and I think I'm just going to do a loop. So 1, 2, 3. Doesn't need to be that many. So the downside to doing this, of course, is there's no segregation at the bus stop. So we start there, out this way, round there, and then across there like that. I guess you don't really need to do that because it's just going to loop around. So there's going to be no segregation there, unfortunately, which is a little bit annoying. No, it's not going to stop there, is it? Not going to lie, that's a bit annoying. But okay, I don't anticipate this being too busy initially. Tadcaster, we can probably mess about with it afterwards. Right, and then in terms of road vehicles, I think we'll just start off with the super cheap one here. I don't anticipate that much traffic because it's not that big. In fact, Tadcaster is the second smallest place, so don't really foresee anything big. Until, of course, the freight sets up. because that's going to make a different story altogether. Now, I don't know whether we're going to be able to run a train along there or not. I'm not sure, without destroying some farms, but we'll see. The food, just out of curiosity, the food, it's not wanted by the industry, is it? It's the commerce. And because most of the commerce is here, I would be fairly tempted just to check. So you would do something a little bit like this. So I'd probably bought, yeah, see that serves quite a lot of commercial. But it might be possible to, so if I only did one, we may be able to get away with only destroying a single building. I don't know, it might be possible to build this. I think we might have to get rid of 2. Yeah, like that. And so if you did that, I'm just going to pop that in now because I can connect that up like that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yes, that covers absolutely all of the commerces, which is perfect. So yeah, I definitely wanted to do that. I probably made this a bit too long. In all honesty, I think I've made that a bit too long, but it depends, because with all of the potential food going over there from here as well as here, there's probably going to be a lot kicking around here. This thing here, the Kirkby food processing, is probably going to do really, really well. So yeah, just wanted to build that preemptively. Yeah, something like that, just in case it decides to build up some roads there and we end up getting blocked in. So I just wanted to put that down. Right, there's actually some passengers here. There's one passenger waiting on that line. Is there anybody waiting down here at Gainsborough? No, okay. But that's, you know, it's one passenger. It takes a while for things to develop. So, is there anyone actually on it now? There is. There's one person on it. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I think that'll be our start. And we'll see how we go. Yeah, so that's it for now. Thanks for cheers for watching, guys. This has been myself, Metropolis. Be sure to subscribe to follow the series, and join me next time for more from our achievement run attempt here in Transport Fever. See you later.